So I'm going to call to order our 4:30 hearing upon the application of Martin and Jessica McGrath by their attorney, Marion McEtrick, at 1102 Brook Road, dated August 9th, 2023, seeking a special permit to demolish the attached garage and mudroom and build an 18.5 by 23 foot by 2.5 story addition at the right side of the home. The property is located in a Residence C zoning district. The existing one-story garage is located at 7.3 feet from the right side property line, and the new 2.5-story addition would be built at the same distance as 7.3 from the right side lot line, when 10 are normally required under section 6C1 of the Milton zoning bylaws. My name is Virginia Donahue King, and I'm the zoning administrator and a member of the Board of Appeals, and I will be constituting the board at this hearing. In the file, we have lots of good things here. We have the application. We have the denial letter from the building inspector and giving you an idea of what you need to do to get the special permit. We have a letter that gives the history and so forth of this this home that I'm sure that she will be addressing. We have we have a plot plan of the property with the proposed addition. We have a deed showing that the applicants do in fact own this property. We have, let's see. I'm not exactly sure what this is right now, but it looks like it is a map of the area, and I'm not sure exactly what it is, but we'll be looking at that. We have another map that is more specifically showing the neighborhood, Brook Road, and surrounding areas and the numbers of the houses that are around it. We have a property record from the town of Milton, and we have architectural plans by Blackbird Architecture showing the front elevation of the house, the floor plan of the house as it's proposed, and a lot of schematic information. And let's see. We also have a number of letters of support for the application, including the neighbors at 1096 Brook Road, at 1090 Brook Road. I believe this one is 1106 Brook Road. And 24 Chesterfield Road, which I assume is the neighbor to the rear.
Yes.
So those are all of your budding neighbors then. So that's all in the file. So I'm going to turn it over to Attorney McEtrick to present the McGrath's case for us.
Okay, thank you. I'm Mary McEtrick. I represent the applicants. And this is a proposal by the owners of 1102 Brook Road to put an addition on their house, basically in the same location, but also towards the rear as the current garage is. So as you face this house with your back to Brook Road, the garage is on the right side, the driveway's on the right side. This house is in a Residence C zoning district. The required side setbacks in Residence C are 10 feet. But this home was constructed in 1938. It would have been just about at the time that the zoning bylaw was adopted, but this house would be pre-existing non-conforming. And it has a right side setback of 7.3 feet. And the house is constructed on a lot of 6,676 square feet rather than the required 7,500 square feet. So it's considered legal pre-existing non-conforming. And that's why the building commissioner has determined that this addition requires a special permit rather than a variance. The addition will replace the existing mudroom, garage, and deck. and it would be constructed at the same 7.3 feet right side setback. It will increase the height on that side to 25 feet 11 inches. That's slightly less than the existing peak of the roof of the existing house, which is 28 feet 2 inches. The interior of the addition will consist of a new bedroom and bathroom on the second floor, a garage, mudroom, and deck on the first floor. So there will still be a garage, there will still be a mudroom, but it will all be reconstructed. The exterior finishes and windows will match those in the existing house. The reason for this application is that the applicant's family is growing. They welcomed a third child who was born in February 2023, and this has created a need for additional living space. The house is a beautifully designed house. They've engaged a good architect who has designed an addition that's consistent with the architecture of the house. And they'll be able, with this addition, to add a master bedroom and bath for themselves. That frees up more bedroom space on the second floor for their children. And then the design of the first floor is basically sort of a redesign of a garage, deck, and mudroom that they already have in place now, just replacement. You can see when you look at the architectural drawings, they were elevation drawings provided by this architect, and they show what the property will look like from all sides once the addition is constructed. And you can see from those drawings that the architecture is consistent with that of the existing house. Since this addition will be higher and it goes further back, although along the existing non-conforming lot line, this is considered an intensification of an existing nonconformity. And this requires a finding by the Board of Appeals that the intensification will not be substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood than the existing nonconformity, which was established in a 2019 Supreme Judicial Court decision, Massachusetts, Villalta v. Brookline Board of Appeals. Therefore, it's always important to review your plans with your neighbors, but in this case particularly, it was important to approach all the abutting neighbors, and the applicants have done that and explained their plans and shown their drawings to their neighbors, and the neighbors have provided the letters that you heard recited already from 1090 Brook Road, 1096 Brook Road, 1106 Brook Road, and 24 Chesterfield Road. Those are the immediate abutters for this property. This property is on Brook Road, which is a very wide street. So those who will be most affected by this change will be those abutters on both sides and to the rear. So I'd just say in conclusion, this is a really carefully designed addition. It is a beautiful house inside and out, and it will only be improved by this addition. It will not be a detriment to nearby properties, and it does provide much needed additional living space.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody that wanted to register their opinion on this?
We don't have anybody in the attendance.
Okay, probably because it's a good application. What I neglected to mention in the beginning is when I was a little girl growing up on Center Lane, these two houses, I think it's 106 and 102 that have the columns. I wanted one of those houses. And so my father made my sister and I a dollhouse that looked like it. We got many, many hours happiness playing with that dollhouse.
I've always liked this house too. I just want you to know. But I get a dollhouse out of it. So
wish they still had the dollhouse. Maybe I could pass it on to you, but I don't. Okay, I'm going to close the evidentiary portion of this hearing and go through the reasoning, which we need to make sure that the neighborhood is not substantially this addition is not substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood than the current house is. And I find that it is not. It is increasing the nonconformity, but in a very modest way, and that will certainly give the applicants a whole lot more living room and updating the house a little bit there. So I find that there's no substantial detriment to the neighborhood. It's designed to look good with the current house and blend in with it, as well as the house next door and other houses on Brook Road. And so I have decided to grant the permit as decided. And so it's we need to have a decision written, and once that decision goes into Ms. Folsham's office, she will bring that to the town clerk, and there will be a 20-day appeal period, which usually nothing happens in it whatsoever, except that you can't pull the permit. You can do preliminary things, but you can't pull the permit for that until the 20 days is up. But she will let you know when that happens. And I'll say congratulations on your special permit, and good luck with the building process.
Well, thank you. And if you would like me to draft something for a decision, I'd be happy to do that.
I'd appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks very much.
Okay, we'll
Thank you
see you
very
at the
much.
next hearing.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Bye-bye.
So we'll see you
I'm
in
gonna-
15 minutes.
I'm gonna pause the recording until the next one.
Okay, good.
It's 5 o'clock and it looks like everybody's here.
And we're going to start the third and final meeting of the afternoon upon the application of Donovan and Lauren Brown by their attorney, Marion McKettrick, at 32 Parkway Crescent, dated August 24th, 2023, seeking a special permit to build a 2-story front, 1-story rear addition into the pre-existing non-conforming residence. The property is located in a Residence C zoning district. This addition would be built at a distance of 7.9 feet, respectively, from the left side property line, when 10 feet are normally required by Article 10 Area Regulations, Section 275-10.3 of the Milton zoning bylaw. My name is Virginia Donahue King, and I'm the zoning administrator and a member of the Board of Appeals, and I'll be acting as the board for the hearing this evening. In the file, we have the application proposing what they would like to do, and we have the denial letter from our building commissioner explaining what needs to be done so that you can go ahead and do that. We have a letter from attorney Marion McKettrick, and giving why we should grant this to you. We have a plot plan showing where the current house is and where the addition would be as well. We have architectural drawings, schematics of the elevations of the house from various points of view, and layouts of the 2 floors, as well as the roof. Showing this, we have elevations from all sides showing what the new construction would look like. We have a deed showing that the Browns are in fact owners of this property. And a property record card from the town of Milton, as well as a more detailed plot plan here of what exists currently. We have something from Maps Online that shows the boundaries of land and where the houses are situated from 30 through 34 Parkway Crescent. We also have a lots layout on Parkway Crescent and Blue Hills Parkway and adjacent streets. And we have letters from neighbors who are approving of the applicant's proposal from people at 30 Parkway Crescent, which is the neighbor most affected by this proposed addition, from 25 Parkway Crescent, from 31 Parkway Crescent, I think that's 37 Mar Avenue, 28 Parkway Crescent, 29 Parkway Crescent, 22 Parkway Crescent, 34 Parkway Crescent, neighbor to the other side, 91 Mar Avenue, 31 Parkway Crescent, that has got to be across the street, I would think, even though it's funny numbering down there. So it looks like you've got a lot of support, so that's always a good thing on an application like this. So I'm going to turn that over to Attorney McKettrick to walk us through what you plan to do, why you want to do it, and why I should let you do it. Mrs. McKettrick.
And I'm Mary McKettrick. I represent the applicants, and Donovan and Lauren Brown are both here today if you have any questions for them after I describe the application. This application, we've spent a good deal of time preparing it, and two building commissioners have looked at it. Joe Prondak as he was leaving, and then Joe H.O. as he, after he arrived, had to deal with this all over again and become familiar with it. And it is an interesting application. This is a close together neighborhood with small lots. So putting an addition on any of these houses is difficult, and it's important to have a good architect, and the applicants have retained a good architect who has designed an addition on the side where the garage is, but at the same setback as the existing garage. So currently that garage is located at a non-conforming left side setback of 7.9 feet, required to be 10 feet under the zoning bylaw. And the plot plan indicates there's a slightly non-conforming right side setback of 9.9 feet. I provided not only, of course, the current survey plan, that's an on-the-ground survey plan that was prepared for this application, also provided a recorded plan showing the footprint of this house on this lot in 1942. And if you look carefully at these plans, you'll see some slight differences in the setback measurements. And those are accounted for by the fact that that happens sometimes, because in 1942, the technology for survey work was different than it is today. And sometimes these plans come out with different measurements, sometimes to the detriment of the applicants. That's not true in this case necessarily. The current survey plan just shows the lot as it's currently occupied by the house. And it's not, there were no surprises. Nothing was, closer than they thought it was. Also, we also, after I filed this application, I went back and tried to find, thinking that there was undoubtedly an original lot plan that had been recorded for these lots, because they all seem to be almost the same size. And I did finally locate that plan, which was recorded in 1924. And it does show that this lot was the same 5,000 square foot lot that it is today. So that means that in 1938, this house was built on a legally buildable lot, because it had been shown on a recorded plan before 1938, even though the lot isn't 7,500 square feet. The house, as it was constructed, apparently was constructed after 1938, but was constructed at a non-conforming left side setback. There's no record of a variance or anything, but it would be true that if you did construct an addition to your house and it sat there for 12 years and nothing was done about it, no enforcement or anything, it then becomes legal. So that's the situation the Browns find themselves in. They have a legal non-conforming structure on a non-conforming lot that was legal to be built on because it was created before 1938. So I don't know whether anybody's interested in that level of detail, but those are some of the things that I looked at when I was studying this lot. So what the applicants are trying to do here is create additional living space. This is not a very large house. There are 2 bedrooms on the second floor. They're not huge. The applicants bought this house a number of years ago. Their children are older now, and they're looking for more living space, but they're also looking for office space because both of them work from home. So what they've designed here is a first floor addition that on the in the location where the garage is now will now reach up 2.5 to the same height exactly as the existing house, which is well below the allowed height. And they plan to put a master bedroom, bathroom, and I think a laundry room on the first floor. The second floor, what they'll do is they'll connect with an existing bedroom and make that bedroom larger. And I think it's in the front of the addition on the second floor. They're going to have a study that they can use since they both work from home. The master bedroom will occupy most of the rear of this addition, which is only 1 story. The addition is located just next to what we call a great room. This was added on to the house in 2002, and there was a variance granted for that great room. I went back and read the decision. I went back and studied the zoning bylaw. I still can't figure out exactly why the decision says that the house needed a right side 15.4 foot setback, except that in 2005, town meeting modified the language in our zoning bylaw relating to the required setback for a structure that's larger than 5,000 square feet. I forget the exact measurement. I think the language may have been unclear, and somehow the Board of Appeals thought that required that there was a bigger setback required. Honestly, I don't know. But that decision actually has nothing to do with this decision because they're not altering that. And that great room was brought in on the side, so it doesn't reach the non-conforming side setbacks that currently exist. But I just wanted to mention it because you'll see that in the record. So as you know, there are a number of letters in the file supporting this addition. Again, it's a close-in neighborhood. These are small lots. It's very important to discuss plans like these with neighbors, and the applicants have gone out and done that. And they do have letters of support from all of the, what I call abutters and abutters of abutters, anyone with a legal standing, I guess, to appeal such a decision, including their neighbors to the rear and their neighbors across the street. And so they've done a pretty thorough job determining whether they have support from the neighbors, and they do have it. So I'd say finally, in terms of design, if you look at the architectural plans, which are quite helpful because they superimpose the new addition on they show what's going to be removed against the new addition on one of the pages. They show all of the elevations from all sides. And what you can see when you look at those plans, and also from the photograph on the front of the architectural design, is that the left side of this house is kind of broken up right now. There's a 1-story garage with a peaked roof. There's a kind of a small L out from the side of the house. And then there's a deck to the rear. And they're all at different setbacks. And the general appearance of the side of the house is kind of mixed. It's mixed up, I guess. It's functional, but by removing all that and constructing this new addition, you're going to create a house that's more uniform in appearance. It will go straight up in the same footprint basically as the existing house, but expanded where the garage was. And then to the rear, where there's already a 1-story great room, there'll be an additional area of 1 story. The house is going to look better when this is done. It will be much more functional for this family because they really need additional space. And I met at the house with them and looked at the house with them. And what they explained to me was that they considered moving. They really need more space, but they really like this neighborhood and they would very much like to stay where they are now. So those are the reasons why this is being proposed. And I think it will be an attractive improvement to this house. And it should not detract from any of the nearby residences. So that's my summary.
Thank you.
Happy to answer questions.
Okay, no, you've explained it very well, and the architectural drawings are very helpful, very helpful. Is there anybody that wanted to speak out in Zoom land?
I don't have any hands up.
Okay, well, I'm going to close the evidentiary portion of the hearing and decide on this here and now. I find that this is actually going to be an improvement to the neighborhood as rather than a detraction from the neighborhood, even though you are adding to the nonconformity. You're not extending the nonconformity further to your neighbors, just further down the line on this. So I find that it's going to be kind of, taking care of a hodgepodge of things that were added over time that probably need to be smoothed out. And I see that this plan actually does that very well. And I think that this will be a much nicer looking house for all the neighbors to look at when this is completed. I see that there's no huge detriment to the neighborhood. The neighbors are in agreement that this is something that they would be in favor of. So I'm going to go ahead and grant your request for a special permit. And once the decision is filed with the town clerk, there's a 20-day appeal period statutorily. So you can't pull a permit during that time, but Julia will let you know as soon as that time frame goes away, and then you can pull the permit, and you can do preliminary things to get ready for the construction, but just can't start the construction just yet. So congratulations on your soon to be new and improved home, and good luck with the building process.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very
Thank you
welcome.
very much. I'd be happy to provide a draft of the
That
decision
would
if that
be
would be
great.
helpful.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
great.
well,
Have
have
a
a good
good
evening,
evening.
folks.
Yeah,
Celebrate.
thank you.
Thank you, Marion.
Thank you, Mary.
Oh, Julie, I've got to get my my calendar for you. I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good.
How does the 23rd of October look? Monday?
Actually, so I'll be away the 19th through the 22nd, and I just don't want to chance like a flight getting delayed or something. But do you
Gotcha.
want to do either that Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday?
Oh, I've got people coming in on the 24th. I forgot about that.
Oh, okay.
Is the 16th okay, or do we have enough time for that?
I mean, the 20th, we'll just do the 23rd. That should be fine. And if God
No.
forbid something happens.
Let's do. How about the 30th?
Okay. Yeah, I'll do the 30th.
That'll give you the time to get everything out. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that.
All right. I just want to make sure, just with how everything's going with flights lately, you never know.
Yeah. No. You don't want to come back from vacation with this hanging over your head.
Yeah. All right.
You
Perfect.
need a
So,
day at least, right?
yeah.
So yeah, let's do the 30th. Doesn't get in the way of Halloween. We're good.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Have a
I
good
will-
night.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.